Hello, welcome to Fo's Journey Across the Bridge. I'm Fozia. How is everyone doing? So today I want to share with you guys my perspective on thriving. What do I want to say about thriving? So I was kind of trying to understand, if I was thriving. I was looking to assess myself, to take stock with reference to where I am currently in my life, right? I feel like for a very long time I was going through this period of surviving, and then of course when you're in that state, is always like making sure you're safe, making sure that you're protected, and just always looking out for yourself, making sure that you're avoiding danger and staying away from harm's way. And then I found myself in this space where I call the in-between space, right? So of course I'm diving right in, and because I'm, looking forward to sharing this topic with you guys. So I was in this space of in-between where I can say that I was not in survival mode anymore. I was realizing that, I didn't have to watch my back because I was, heading towards my destiny, my dreams, my passion. And at the same time, I was noticing like, hey, I'm not running, or I'm not worried about, just looking out for what I used to need to survive, right? The things that I needed to avoid to make sure that I was okay. And so I found myself just not focusing on that. So then I kind of stopped and said, oh my God, I'm not in that survival mode anymore. So then I said, well, what is going on? Like, am I thriving? So then I thought, because I've always heard like, you want to move away from, not want to move away from, but you want to heal yourself past, just surviving and being in the state of thriving and flourishing and just life is blooming. And so when I felt like I was in that between space and, realizing that I was no longer in that past experience and events where I was constantly having to look out or making sure I was safe, then I asked myself, am I thriving? So when I asked that question, I started thinking like, what is that even supposed to look like? Is it just like, you stop surviving, so then you're instantly in the state of thriving? Is it something you have to cultivate? Is it something you're creating? So I was like, what does that look like in an individual sense, right? I can't speak for everyone. And so what would it look like for me if I'm thriving, when I am thriving? So just sitting with that and asking myself that question, I started thinking, what would it look like? So then I started describing it to myself, right? It would be a sense of peace. It would be a sense of comfort, creating an environment and space that really reflected that, right? A space that was calm, being around people that I felt like reflected, the lifestyle that I was living, and just, being in a mindset of pursuing dreams and passions. Because I think when you're in a state of just looking out for yourself and watching your back, you're not really focusing on creating and pursuing your dreams. And at the same time, you might not have the energy to at the same time sit down long enough to think about that, right? So then I found myself in a home, in a space that I feel like I created to give me that peace, to give me that that calmness. So I was like, well, I would describe that as thriving. So then I said, well, have I arrived there? And I didn't take account that I had already arrived, right? So it was just one of those things where if you're on this go, even as you're coming out of this tunnel, right? Sometimes you don't pause and just assess, where are you, And so you want to make sure that you assess, because otherwise you're just running, So you could be in the positive, or in the space of like pursuing your dreams, but you have to kind of turn that other page off, right? So then you kind of disconnect and you open this new chapter is what I'm trying to say. Like having an ending to something. So I hadn't fully taken into account that that I had ended a certain chapter and I was entering a chapter. And so asking myself the question of, am I thriving? What does thriving look like for me? Allowed me to realize, you know, I am thriving and my definition of thriving, right? And so pausing, you know, to know where you are, then identifying what, you know, your own passion, your own joy, your own desire, what does that look like? And then you're able to identify if you are somewhere that you want to be, if you are experiencing emotions that you want to have, and just fully being grounded in that, you know, not having this sense of being lost or on a different journey that you don't really want to be on. So this is what I wanted to come in and kind of give a little bit of just share my perspective on that. And I wanted to offer just that pause moment, right? Pause and just identify, where are you, right? Are you thriving? Are you deep in your thriving? Are you at the beginning? And is there a difference, right? Just identify that for yourself. So I looked up the word thrive. So it says to grow or develop well, prosper, and flourish. So when we look at that, just hearing to grow or to develop, you know, we're always growing, right? We're always growing and we're always progressing and we're always, and we can develop certain aspects of ourselves, right? And so it's just like stopping and taking an inventory of your emotional state of mind, your mental state of mind, your physical state of mind, your spiritual state of mind. Where am I? Have I grown? Have I grown with my ability to just be patient with myself and others, right? Am I growing in my ability to understand my emotions? Do I have emotional intelligence and maturity, right? Am I growing in the way that I speak to myself and the way I speak to others? How is my health? Am I eating better? Am I sleeping better? How am I moving my body? How is my relationship with those people in my life that are important to me? Have I grown in that area? How am I in my community? And how am I in day-to-day exchange with other people? Have I grown, right? Have I grown? Am I in a state of responding through fear of something bad is going to happen? You know, I'm just watching out for my back. I'm just surviving. You all know what surviving can look like. So am I in that state? Or am I now no longer experiencing that? Am I able to slow down and smell the roses? Am I in a space where I have grown, you know, mentally to know my own strength physically? Am I aware of my physical strength? Have I been doing something to make sure that I can fully stand in that ability? How am I growing and developing? So to know that thrive means to grow, to develop, and to develop well, to prosper, to flourish, right? Let's then pause and look at our life. What is growing in my life? What area is growing in my life? So I feel like, you know, look at the signs. You know, where in your life do you see prosperity? Has your finances improved, right? Has your health improved? Are you more kind to yourself? Are you more kind to the people around you? What characteristics have you learned to develop and make better than it used to be, right? Do you show yourself more respect? Are you standing more in integrity? All of those ways that we can grow are evidence that we are thriving, right? So I had stepped into that space without knowing, because I didn't realize, because sometimes when we are in this awareness that success means something, right? We might say, when I get to this location, that's what success is, right? But to pause and say, what is success in a small scale, or in a scale that I may have thought was small? What does that look like? Well, it looks like I had a great meal today. It looks like I have a warm home to walk into and to stay in. It looks like having the ability to take care of yourself in so many different ways, right? Success is defined by you. So if success is defined by each individual, right, then it's important for us to pause and realize when we are succeeding in life, right? How am I thriving? And so I think the big thing for me where I needed to come in and say, I want to discuss this particular topic, it was because since for a very long time, maybe since I was a little girl, I always felt like I was in a survival mode, right? And so just even catching that, realizing that I had been in that state and how long I had been in that state, and to be in that middle space where I go, why am I not responding as if, the way I used to respond, which was in survival mode? Why am I not responding that way? Just catching myself and realizing I'm not having the same response anymore. I'm much calmer. I have more peace. And so this is one of the words too that I feel like define my thriving, my way of expressing my success currently in my life. And I would describe it as peace, right? How do I know I am thriving? I have peace. I have peace of mind. I have peace in knowing that God has my back, that I am always supported and protected, that I am certain that I am always protected and supported. Like having that peace, that things are going to be okay, that all is well, right? Just having that peace and always falling back on that. So yeah, there may have been times where I have doubted that, and I think I had doubted that so many times, but to arrive at a spot where just surrendering and giving up all of the fear and worries and stepping into trust and having the sense of peace that I am where I'm supposed to be, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that I am supported, that I am guided, that I am protected, that I am loved, that I am enough, that everything that I do matter, that I'm sufficient, that I have purpose, that I'm here for a purpose, right? So that all the struggles and things that were appearing as a struggle just became like a challenge that I could overcome, right? Nothing was indefinite. There was always room for change, for progress, for growth. So because I understood that, I just surrendered to peace. So for me, to thrive means to have peace. At least in this current state that I am in, I have peace. I may acquire things. I may have things. I may have, a roof over my head. But I've learned that even when I didn't have a roof over my head, right, that it wasn't the end of the world. I had to find peace in that moment. And because I was able to sit in my body, stay within my body, and not escape my body when I was unsure, and I was still able to have peace, for me, that changed everything. So peace has become my return to, right? Returning into this space of peace, of acceptance, of surrendering, of trusting, of knowing that if this is not working out, there's something better, or it's not the time, right? If this is not the perfect option for me, there's a better option. If this door isn't opening, it is not the time, or it is not the right one. So just to have that information and to return to this state of peace with circumstances that may show up, right? This is thriving for me. So I was able to answer that question. What is thriving for me? How is it showing up in my life? So currently it is my state of peace, right? My state of peace. So I just wanted to kind of put out there, how are you seeing that in your life? Are you noticing it? Do you see how you're thriving? Maybe you used to, speak to others or carry yourself a certain way, but now you are communicating differently, not just for the benefit of others, but how you want to come across in the world, how you hold yourself in integrity, how you respect yourself, right? Yeah. So what else did I wanted to share? Yeah, so this is what I wanted to say. So pause and realize, where are you? Are you in transition? Are you in that middle space? Can you describe, can you identify, can you see the signs of what it is like to flourish? And do you see prosperity in your life? Do you see how you are flourishing as a person, right? Are you seeing all the growth and development that have happened in your life recently, right? Are you the same person you used to be, respond the way you used to be, or are you different? Have you grown? How are you thriving? So I just wanted to come and share with you my experience and how I was able to realize that I was right there, that I had arrived and I went past that middle space and I was really into what I was defining as my beginning of my success, right? Everything I have done wasn't a failure necessarily, but it was preparation for going forward. It was preparation for growth. It was always meant to develop me, always meant to grow me. And so I am thriving in areas that are amazing, right? And my self-respect and my understanding my self-worth and the peace, the sense of peace that I continue to return to, and the way I view life and my relationship with God and my relationship with the people that matter to me the most, right? And my pursuit of my passion and my allowing myself to come out of my comfort zone, right? And challenging myself and not just waiting for challenges to cause me to move, and allowing myself to just keep going forward. So I am thriving in so many ways, and they may be of benefit to other people, this result of my success, but I most definitely know the way that I'm thriving has changed me. It is such a great experience to be, and I am benefiting from this growth, right? From how I've developed as a person. So I hope that you yourself are pausing and seeing the signs of how you're growing and flourishing and identifying prosperity in your life and being grateful for it, right? Being grateful for all the growth and progress, right? Understand where you are. See how you are already thriving. And it's so good to know that you're thriving and you're no longer in the state of surviving, right? I wish that for you. And I want you to know that if anyone is on the state of, surviving or have been through the survival mode, just know, even in that space, you can pause. You can see how you may have done some things differently last year that you're not doing this year, right? Understanding progress even in those moments, right? See how you're progressing, how you're growing. So whatever state you're in, pause and see, look for the positive, because just identifying and realizing your growth will get you sooner out of this state of survival, because you'll be able to have information and tools of how you're doing things differently than you used to do it. And that's the beginning. That's like that rope that's helping you in the steps that are pulling you out of where you are and bringing you to where you want to be, right? So it's like Fo's journey across the bridge from where I was to where I wanted to be. So I am here where I wanted to be. I've brought myself across that bridge to where I wanted to be. So I hope that you take those small steps, pause and identify, take inventory of where you are, what's going on, where you used to be, and see your progress and see that you are thriving. Okay? And if it might seem small to some people, but it could be huge for you. And this is the whole point of this discussion, is identifying your own growth, your own development, and how important it is for you to know how far you've come and to celebrate that, right? To give yourself a thumbs up and to say, I've made it here where I am thriving, I am succeeding. Let your success be a celebration. Celebrate it. Celebrate your progress. Celebrate your growth. Okay? So I hope that this sharing of my experience and my perspective on how I have realized that I was in a state of thriving. I hope that it serves and offers you some kind of information or insight and guidance, possibly. And again, if it does not offer you anything, just leave it right where it is. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this, morning or evening. And thank you for tuning in. This is Fo on my journey across the bridge. And I'm happy to be on this journey. Bye-bye.